Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make my chicken and dumplings. It's pretty simple. So you're going to need some milk. You can also use heavy cream if you want. You're going to need some cream of chicken soup, some butter, some chicken broth, garlic, of course, you know I love my garlic. Here I have chicken thighs, boneless, skinless chicken thighs. I had to debone my own chicken thighs and take the skin off because I couldn't find the boneless, skinless at the store. But if you can find them, go with that. I have carrots, a little celery, a little yellow onion, and one bay leaf. I'm making a very small pot because this will be my kids' first time trying this. So I don't know if they're going to like it or not. So I don't want to make too much. Now for the dumplings, this is 2 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of parsley, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And you can do a half teaspoon of black pepper as well. Also for your dumplings, if you do not want to make the homemade dumplings like I'm doing, you can get a can of regular buttermilk biscuits. Make sure they're not the flaky ones, and just cut them in half. And when you're ready to drop your dumplings in, you just drop this in. This is an easier way. The homemade dumplings are pretty easy as well, but I like to add my own flavoring into them. That's why I'm going to do the homemade ones today. Okay guys, so the first thing you want to do is get you a big enough pot. You want to make sure your pot is big enough because once you add the dumplings in, they kind of swell up, and then if you have too much broth and things in there, it's going to kind of boil over. So you want to make sure you have a deep enough pot for as much chicken and dumplings as you want to make. So I have just a little oil at the bottom of this pan heating up on about medium to low. You don't want it too high right now. So what we're going to do is add in those chicken thighs. And all I did was season it with a little all-purpose seasoning, like some adobo. And not too much. You don't have to season your chicken too much because the broth, the soup that we're going to make for this is going to be very, very flavorful. So you don't want to add too much seasoning to make it salty. You're going to get flavor from the dumplings. You're going to get flavor from the soup. You're going to get flavor from all of this. So really be careful with the amount of seasoning that you're adding. So we're going to let this brown. You want your chicken pieces to be nice and brown. So I have my chicken getting nice and brown. Now another way to do this, which would probably be an easier way as well, is to get an already made rotisserie chicken and shred it up. But I personally don't like the shredded chicken. I like my chicken in chunks like this. And I love chicken thighs. So that's why I use the chicken thighs. But you can use whatever chicken you want. Okay, so once you got your chicken nice and browned up, you want your chicken to be just about done at this point. So you're going to take this out and put it on a plate to the side and let it sit there while we work on the next step. Okay guys, so now to the same pot that you just took the chicken out with all those juices still in there, you're going to add just a little bit more butter. Let that get a little melted. And then we're going to go in with those veggies, my carrot, my celery, and my onion. And that bay leaf. And again, your fire should be on about medium to low. Now you can play around with whatever vegetables you would like. I know some people don't put vegetables at all in theirs, and that's totally fine. But this is a good way for me to sneak in the vegetables with my kids because, you know, how that goes with them. So I do like to put the veggies in mine, and I like the color. I don't like just a simple, you know, white chicken and dumpling. I like a lot of color in my food. So we're going to kind of let this saute a little bit. You're going to begin to smell it, and it's going to smell amazing. Okay guys, so once you've got your veggies a little sauteed, you're going to go in with just a little flour. You want to sprinkle just a little flour over this because this is going to form a kind of a roux. And you're going to see it kind of lump up, and that's what you're looking for. That's totally fine, so don't be alarmed. That's exactly what you're looking for. It's going to soak up all that butter and oil, and it's going to kind of lump together just like that. And what I also forgot to add was my garlic. You want about a tablespoon or so of garlic. You can add that in there. Can't leave out my garlic. Can't. All right. Okay. So now what you want to do is add all that chicken right back in there. Just like that. Give that a nice stir. We're also going to go in with the chicken broth. About a cup of chicken broth. And one, let's see, this is a 10.5-ounce can of cream of chicken. So we're going to go in with that cream of chicken as well. Now that cream of chicken and also that flour that we added in there is going to make this nice and creamy. Nice and creamy. Now I've seen it made a bunch of different ways. There's literally so many ways that you can make chicken and dumplings, y'all. So and no way is like the correct way, I guess. You make it to however you like it. Okay, give that a really good mix. This smells so good. Like I wish I could smell this. Okay guys, so I ended up adding another cup of the chicken broth because it was not to the consistency that I wanted. This is what I'm looking for, and it's still going to thicken up as it cooks as well. But you want enough broth so that you can get your dumplings in there to cook as well. So what you want to do is cover this and leave this to simmer for about 15 minutes. And while this is simmering, we are going to work on the dumplings because you want to get those ready to add in as soon as this is done. So I have me one of these little spatulas here so it'll be easier for me to mix. And like I said, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon baking powder, 1 tablespoon of parsley, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So now this next step is up to you. You can use milk for this, you can use heavy cream, you can use plain water, or you can use more chicken broth. What I like to use is milk. I add a little at a time so that I don't add too much, because then you're going to kind of be going back and forth, adding more flour, adding more milk. So you want to just do it a little bit at a time and mix it until you get the consistency that you are looking for. So it's going to be kind of hard for me to do this while I'm holding the phone recording. So I'm going to keep going and I'll show you progress in between. But like I said, mix as you go. Mix in just a little bit of milk at a time until you get the consistency that you're looking for, and I'll show you that consistency when I get to it as well. Okay guys, so I added and added until I got the consistency that I'm looking for. As you can see, it's a very kind of thick consistency. You want to kind of fold it in. You don't want to stir too much. You don't want to stir this too much. Just kind of fold it in until everything is well incorporated. And then this is what it will look like. Okay you guys, so after 15 minutes, it's going to be at a nice boil, as you can see. So now we're going to get ready to add our dumplings in. So for your dumplings, I have an ice cream scooper here. You want to scoop just a little bit out. I mean, depending on how big you like your dumplings, but they do swell up quite a bit when you put them into the soup. So just be mindful of that. So you just want to scoop it up a little bit and kind of form it. But if they're not perfect, don't worry, because they kind of do their own thing once you put them in there. They make their own little shapes or whatever. So you just want to form it as nice as you can and then drop them into the soup. Okay guys, so as you can see, I dropped my dumplings in there. Now they're not going to be pretty, so don't expect them to be pretty. They're not going to be perfect. Like I said, they're going to swell up in here and form nice little shapes, whatever shape they feel like forming. So what you're going to do is cover this and let these steam. You want to let your dough steam so that they can cook through another 15 minutes. Okay guys, let me clear it up. So it's been 15 minutes, and as you can see, the dumplings have puffed up quite a bit. And like I said, they're not going to be perfect. They kind of form their own shape. These are okay looking kind of round balls. So this is how it looks. As you see, it thickened up and it got nice and creamy. Oh, it's kind of getting blurry. So I am going to plate this up and show you guys how it looks on the plate. But also I wanted to add, before you put your dumplings in, you want to make sure you taste that soup and add any other seasonings that you may want. I added some crushed red pepper flakes because I like mine a little spicy. I added my salt and I added just a little bit of paprika. So before you add in your dumplings, you want to do that and taste it and add anything that you may want in there. So yeah, this is it. I am going to put it in a bowl and show you guys what it looks like. Okay guys, so I put some into a bowl and this is how it looks. Now you can, like I said, adjust this to how you want. If you don't like yours as thick or as creamy, use a little bit more broth or water or whatever you decided to use to make yours. But this is how I like mine. I like mine very creamy. I don't like it too soupy. So this is how it looks. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one.